Good morning, and good morning to you. Yes, you are welcome. My name is Kunle Ologe, marriage counselor, founder of the Marital Academy, and you are welcome to this Friday live. And yes, every Friday we come to you live, teaching you on an aspect of marriage. If you've missed any Friday live, then you have actually missed a lot. One thing you can do right now is to subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification button so that you get the videos as soon as they pop out. And I'm so glad that you're here right now joining us. So today, at least, you're not missing today, and you're going to get something very, very tangible. I assure you that. Today, we're going to be talking about the dangers of competing in marriage. The dangers of competing in marriage. And yes, there is competition in some marriages, probably even in yours. But as you listen and as you learn, I hope that you will be able to take the things, the lessons, and implement it in your marriage so that you don't compete in your marriage. Now, here's what we do every Friday. We always tell you to invite a minimum of 10 people. Because if the marriages around you are bad, your marriage is at risk. So invite somebody today, send out those links, send it to your colleagues at work, to your siblings, to your friends, family, send it to everybody far and near, and let them know that there is a place for them to come and learn and begin to improve their marriages. Now, let's dive right into it because, as usual, we have just 1 hour to sort this out and get you back to work, but get you back to work with advanced knowledge. So, this is what we need to do. We need you to concentrate very, very well for the next 1 hour. If you need to take your lunch break from work or your brunch break at work, do that now so that you will be able to catch what it is that we're teaching. The dangers of competing in marriage. And welcome to every one of you who are here. Yes, I see you and I greet you all specially. Now, marriage was never designed to be a competition. Marriage was never designed to be a competition. It was rather designed to be a partnership, teamwork. But once you begin to compete in marriage, you begin to lose those very, very delicate fabrics that hold the relationship together. Marriage is a partnership, it's a covenant between a man and a woman. A covenant where the two of you work together to become one. That's what marriage is. But like I said at the beginning, unfortunately, a lot of people fall into that temptation of competing with each other. That's one spouse, husband competing against the wife, wife competing against the husband. They compete with things and with each other instead of complementing their strengths. Do you know that one of the six purposes of marriage is completion? And completion means you work together, filling in the spaces that the other person is lacking in, so that you become a whole as one. But if you compete with each other, then you are not complementing each other. So you see, in some marriages, couples or spouses are comparing achievements instead of celebrating wins. So each person is trying to push forward his or her own achievement well over the wins that you have been able to achieve together. Each person is trying to measure who is ahead. I'm ahead of you. I'm ahead of you in this. I'm ahead of you in that. And they emphasize it. Emphasize it enough for the other person to actually feel bad. Now, competition may look like, oh, okay, I mean, people should compete, right? That's what you were taught growing up. Compete. But you need to remember that you and your spouse are one. You're not competing against yourself. So if you begin to compete against yourself, you will form a division. And that's not what marriage is about. Marriage is not about forming a division. Marriage is about forming a formidable union. And like I've always said, marriage is the first and most formidable union of man. There's no other association of human beings that can be stronger than the association between a man and a woman in marriage. Note my point. In marriage, not outside marriage. So whatever it is you are doing outside marriage, that's not the most formidable. The one we are talking about is when you and that person get married together, then you form a whole that has a force greater than 10,000. So competition is harmful. It is harmful to the marital relationship, and that is why we're talking about it today, so that you don't fall into that trap. But why are the reasons, or what are the reasons that competition creeps into marriage? We're going to be looking at just a few of them today. Few reasons why competition creeps into marriage. Please follow me clearly and carefully. Have you invited somebody to come and register for this? Or not even register? I mean, there's no registration needed. Just come and click the link and watch. Just send out that link, the same link you used to join, and let somebody who needs to hear this, let them join. So, why does competition creep into marriage? Number one, insecurity. Insecurity. You know, there are a lot of people out there who are actually insecure. And insecurity is that state of feeling where you just feel that you are not okay, you are not safe, you are not steady, you are not rooted, you are not planted. So you just feel that at every point in time, something is going to move you or hurt you. That's insecurity. And so some people actually compete against their spouses because they are insecure. So their insecurity is rubbing off on their relationship. And because they are insecure, they decide that, well, I need to do better than this person so that there's no story of this person hurting me or running away from me or doing anything. I want to be the one on top so that I can control things before things control me. Hello, sir and ma. That is a form of insecurity. So you will find that insecure people are one of the people who compete a lot with their spouses in marriage. Insecurity is actually a very, very terrible trait. It can bring down a marriage that is good. As a marriage counselor, I've had the privilege to counsel over the last 14 years thousands of couples. This year alone, I have counseled over 170 couples, some of them having multiple sessions. That's the number of couples I counsel. And one thing that I realize in some of those cases is that one spouse is just insecure. So it's not like the other spouse has really done anything, but the insecurity of that spouse that is probably complaining is making it look like the spouse has done something. Remember my watchword, making it look like the spouse has done something. So the spouse hasn't really done something. You have people who are insecure, their spouses talk with the opposite sex, and they immediately conclude that there's something between them. You see a spouse make a move, send maybe money to somebody else, and they immediately conclude that they're trying to make plans to marry a second wife. A lot of things. Look, I hear a lot of things every single day, and insecurity is a real thing. And insecurity can make you compete because you want to now be on top, you want to be in charge, you want to control things. So rather than sitting down and risking, according to you, risking the crystallization of that thing you are thinking, you would rather compete so that you are ahead. So, one of the reasons competition happens in marriages is because of insecurity. Are you following? I hope somebody is following. All right, let's go to the second reason. The second reason that you have insecurity in marriage is pride. Pride. When you are proud, and I'm talking about the pride that is actually arrogance, because there's good pride and there's bad pride. Good pride is that pride that is arrogant. Sorry, did I get that wrong? Good pride is that pride that is high self-esteem. So your self-esteem is healthy. Bad pride is that pride that is arrogant. So pride can make you compete. You come into the marriage, you're so proud, you're so arrogant, you feel that the other person is nothing. I've even heard cases where a husband will tell the wife, "You are nothing without me. I'm the one that brought you to this country. I'm the one that lifted you up. I'm the one that trained you in school. So you are nothing." Come on. There's no human being that is nothing. Yes, God gave you the opportunity to help that human being. But newsflash, if you didn't help that person, somebody else would have helped that wife or that husband and probably would have done a damn good job, much better than what you have done so far. So what's the pride? You've not seen people of timber and caliber taking over somebody who was seen as a non-entity, cleaning the person up and making the person a celebrity. So what are you priding in? That you got the opportunity to make someone better? No, don't pride in that. You should celebrate that opportunity. It's an opportunity. So pride, if it is not controlled, can actually overshadow that relationship and eventually bring competition. So you are competing against someone that does not even know you are competing. You just feel that I must push this person down and I must lift myself up because I am the man over here. I am the woman over here. Hey, wives, if you've been privileged by God to earn more than your husband, please watch pride. Be careful. Pride can ruin your relationship, and it happens a lot. Remember, everything I tell you here are things that I have witnessed in counseling. So be very careful how that pride now makes you begin to compete. As a woman, you're now competing for the head of the home. So yes, God has given you that grace to be able to earn what you are earning, but there is still the head of the home. So don't compete with that part, because that can be dangerous to your relationship. You're a man. You helped your wife. Maybe your wife came from a background where, in fact, you paid her school fees through university, did everything for her, even did everything for her family members. Now, that doesn't make her your slave. That doesn't make her your footstool. That makes her your wife. And that's the right thing to do. So, of course, you got married to somebody. Who is going to take care of the person? It's you. So, why the pride? Why the competition? And you see, this competition thing in marriage, especially, is not just that the person is trying to compete, the person is pushing the other person down. That's the terrible part. You are pushing the other person down. Number 3, the third reason that competition creeps into marriage is unmet emotional needs. Unmet emotional needs. So somebody who feels undervalued, you don't affirm him or her, you don't tell her, "Oh, you're looking lovely. Oh, thank you for doing this. Oh, you are a jewel in my marriage." So you're not saying these things. The person, in trying to get relevance, will begin to compete with you. So the road to relevance now becomes a competition with you. And once this kind of competition, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. So you're trying to prove to that person that you need me by all costs and you must see it because I'm going to be better than you. At the end of the day, you will mess up your relationship. So unmet emotional needs is a real reason why people compete in marriage. Let me ask you a question. Are you meeting the emotional need of your spouse? Are you that shoulder that your spouse can cry on? Are you that friend that your spouse can confide in? Are you that person who speaks the love language of your spouse? What contribution do you have for your spouse's emotional bank? Or you don't even know that your spouse has an emotional bank? These are things that need to be looked at so that you don't fall into that trap of causing your spouse to compete. Because sometimes you are the cause of the competition. Like in this case, when you are not valuing your spouse. So your spouse now needs to prove himself or prove herself. So you are the cause. You started it. Number four, social pressure. Social pressure. When you see what is happening in other marriages, that pressure now makes you begin to compete in your own marriage. Yes, you heard me right. The pressure from outside can make you begin to compete in your own marriage. Social pressure telling the woman, for instance, that the man is the one who's providing everything can make you start competing with that man because you also want to be the provider. Talking about provision. Remember, once you get married, both of you are supposed to work together to achieve things. So there's nothing wrong, absolutely nothing wrong with a wife working and earning income. In fact, that makes the marriage better. It makes it stronger. It makes it sweeter. So I just don't want you to get me wrong. Please do all you can as a wife to contribute to the finances of your home. At the end of the day, it's your home. So it will do you better to contribute to it. And back to what I'm saying, social pressure can also create that unhealthy drive to outdo your spouse. So these are some reasons why competition creeps into marriage. Creeps into marriage, and what is supposed to be a partnership becomes a scoreboard. Each person trying to put their own score, you know how those scoreboards are. Each person trying to put their own score and double it becomes higher in the eyes of themselves, their spouse, and everybody else. You need to watch it. You need to be careful. Some of these things actually start even before. Okay, so we're back. Sorry about that. That was network, but we are back right now. And I was just saying that some of these things that cause competition is because before marriage, the people were not prepared. There's a preparation for marriage. There's even a preparation to find the right person. There is a preparation. You don't just choose a spouse because you may choose somebody who will continue to compete with you. Like some of you are already in now. You can see your spouse. Your spouse is a constant competitor, even when there's no competition. But if you got it right at the beginning, perhaps you won't be in this quagmire. And right now, you can't run away because marriages are for life. You don't run away from marriages except there is physical violence that can cause you harm. If not, you stay and work it out. But this is the working you should have done before marriage, even before you made your choice of a spouse. Yes. And that's why, for people who are not yet married, if you are listening to me right now and you are not yet married, this is a good time for you to begin to get the right knowledge on marriage so that you can take the right decision on marriage and plan with that person you get married to have a brilliant marriage. I'm sure you've heard me say so many times that before we got married, my wife and I sat down and we wrote a plan. In fact, on the day of proposal, the day I proposed to her, I told her we will not go the way other marriages have gone. We will sit down and write a plan. And so we sat down that same evening and we began to write the plan. And for the 6 months that we courted, we were actually writing that plan. By the time we were almost getting married, the plan was ready. That plan is what we have used for the last 16 years. And even what I am doing today, right now, is in that plan. You know, my very first book, called Building Your Marriage Plan, gives you all the 13 things that my wife and I planned for before we got married. Now, doesn't mean that you are limited to 13 things to plan for, but there were 13 things that we planned for. You can add more. And every marriage should have a marriage plan. Do you have a marriage plan? If you didn't create one before you got married, then this is another opportunity for you to sit down with your spouse and create a plan. The plan is a roadmap as to how your marriage is going to run. To help you with the plan, you can get this book, the number that is scrolling on your screen. Reach out to them. You get this book on Amazon. You can get it on our online store if you want e-copies. You can get it. We have distributors all over the world, in Nigeria, in Cameroon, in Ghana, in the UK, in the US, in Canada, in Australia, and so on. So reach out to the numbers on your screen and just ask them that you want to buy this book, Building Your Marriage Plan. Tell them your location and they'll tell you the best way to get it. So you should prepare before, but since you didn't prepare before, today is not late. Do it now. But for those who are listening to me, and for all your junior ones that you know that are not, or even if they're not junior, but they are not yet married, please encourage them to come and do the course, Becoming Mr. and Mrs. Becoming Mr. and Mrs. is a very interesting course that helps eligible singles to understand themselves, choose the right spouse, and plan for a lasting marriage. Let's watch a little clip on it, and we'll be back after this.
Make sure you know what to do. Here's the truth most people won't tell you about marriage. Marriage doesn't change your character, it only reveals who you are. If you enter marriage unprepared, the gaps in your character, your communications, your patience will only grow louder. Becoming Mr. and Mrs. is not just about finding a right partner, it's about becoming a right partner. Registration is now open. Don't just pray for a wedding, prepare for marriage. See registration details after this video.
Okay, and welcome back. So, did you hear that? Make sure that you register for this course. It happens only once every year, in the year of November, and we have people coming in for the course. And the beautiful thing about this course is that when you are done with the course, we put you in an online group where you can actually interact with other people who have done the course, and perhaps you may just find your spouse there. So yes, it's kind of like matchmaking, but you do it on your own. You find the person on your own. So we have a platform where everybody puts their profile. You can check for profiles there and reach out to the person and start a conversation. You know, the interesting thing, we have had 3 marriages, 3 weddings from that group. Yes, 6 people. So 2, 2, 2, 2. They met themselves on the group, started talking, and then eventually it ended in marriage. Is that not exciting? So join that course, Becoming Mr. and Mrs., and come and learn what you need to learn. Let's go back to our own class for today. So what are the dangers of competing against your spouse? What are the dangers of competing against your spouse? Number one, it erodes unity. Remember that we said already at one point that a marriage is for two people to become one, to be united. But when there is competition, unity goes out of the window. So competition does not allow unity to thrive. You don't work as a team anymore once you compete. In fact, you even work as enemies on the battlefield. So instead of asking, how can we win together? What you are thinking is, how can I win over you? And the other person is also thinking, how can I win over you? That's your thought. So of course, when you start thinking like that, unity is gone. You are no longer united. You no longer have a united front. And so it's even more difficult for you to face challenges. Do you know that there are many challenges that bedevil marriages? But if the two of you are holding hands together, those challenges will level out in front of you. And that's what my wife and I have done in 60 years plus. We have held our hands, the challenges have come, and it just looks like it's not a challenge. You know how it is that you have the solution to a challenge? It's no more a challenge. For instance, you are home and you are hungry, and there's food in the kitchen. I mean, raw food. You're not going to start crying and throw yourself on the ground. No, you go into the kitchen, make yourself a nice meal, sit down on the dining, and eat that meal. So you can't call it a challenge anymore, per se, because you've overcome it. Same thing in marriage. The challenges will come, but if you are unified, you can overcome those challenges very, very easily. The next danger of competing, and I hope you are following, and hey, I hope you've invited somebody. Have you invited somebody to this class, this session? If you are just joining us, you are welcome. We have been talking about the dangers of competition in marriage, and we've spoken about the reason for competition. Now we're talking about those dangers. What are those dangers? And I hope that you are learning, you are taking down something. Please share this link. There are too many people that need to hear this thing. Share this link as we are right now. We have already said at the beginning, each person who is watching right now, and I see all of you watching, I greet you. Each person that is watching right now, invite a minimum of 10 people. And the reason is simple. If the marriages around you are bad, your marriage is at risk. So, the dangers of competing against your spouse. Number one, it erodes unity. Number two, it breeds resentment. Yes, it breeds resentment. And what's resentment? That deep hurt. Very deep hurt. So you're competing against your spouse. Your spouse starts feeling like an outsider in the marriage. And when your spouse starts feeling this way, the next thing is that your spouse begins to get upset. Then it evolves to anger, then it evolves to resentment. And resentment is a terrible thing. Resentment will make that spouse mess you up big time. So when you compete against your spouse, you breed resentment. And it will be silent. It will be creeping in little by little. And that's how resentment comes. Little by little, until the person now hates you completely. Number three, it weakens intimacy. It weakens intimacy. When you compete against each other, that closeness you're supposed to have, you won't have it. You know, in a competition, you don't look out for the other person. You are trying to look out for yourself. You are trying to be on top. That's what a competition is. And in doing that, when you put that in marriage, the intimacy is weakened. All the intimacies, physical intimacy, spiritual intimacy, crisis intimacy, emotional intimacy, all the intimacies you can think of are all affected because you are competing against your spouse, which shouldn't be. Instead of competing against your spouse, you are supposed to complete your spouse. So it weakens intimacy. Number four, it destroys respect. Of course, it will destroy respect. A person who you compete against can't respect you. You are supposed to be in marriage as team players, and then you come with that spirit of competition, the person can't respect you again. What are you bringing to the table? There's nothing. You're not bringing to the table anything that the person will respect you for. So the person brushes against you, doesn't talk to you, or even if the person talks to you anyhow. Check it. Maybe you have been competing. Sometimes you are competing with your spouse and you don't even know you're competing. So it destroys respect, and you need to understand this, and you need to avoid it. Is somebody following me? Number 5, it shifts focus from growth to rivalry. It shifts focus from growth to rivalry. So instead of both of you to be growing together, you are now rivals, enemies, and it stunts growth. Have you seen any country that is fighting war and is developing? No. Look at the countries now that are fighting. They are shredding each other down. Shredding each other down, destroying infrastructure, destroying economies. So you go down every time you are competing with your spouse. That's what you have created in your marriage. A place of no growth, instead destruction. A place of rivalry. So you need to always ask, how can we grow stronger together? How? Because if it's the Bible that said, and Jesus Christ himself in the book of Matthew, he said, if 2 of you shall agree upon anything here on earth, my Father in heaven will make it happen. That's the power of 2. Recognize this power, please, for everybody that is out there. Recognize this power, and if you can help me put it in the comment section, just say there is enormous power in 2. Yes, I need everybody to put it out. There is enormous power in 2, because there is, and I've used it, I've experienced it. My wife and I have navigated through it. We've explored it, and you can also. So when you compete, focus is shifted from growth to rivalry. And so when that happens, you have stunted growth. Not just physical growth, stunted growth in every aspect of life, including finances. So, what do you need to do? What do you need to do? And I want you to pay rapt attention. But before that, let's take this water break, and then we will come back so that we can discuss what you now need to do to ensure that competition does not mess up your marriage. Watch this clip while we take this water break. See you in a few minutes.
And we are members of the Couples Conclave.
My name is Joanne Phillips. I am a conclavite.
My name is Sonia Pute, and this is my wife. And we are members of the Couples Conclave.
My name is Joanne Phillips. I am a conclavite.
My name is Woraola Obaka, and I am a conclavite.
I am Jide Pascal Agwadike, and with me is my wife.
Isn't Agwadike?
I joined, and it has been the best decision of our lives.
I just decided that, what will it cost me to just go get more knowledge on how to have a better home and a better marriage?
Now, my experience with the conclave has put in me consciousness to continuously work on my marriage.
Joining the conclave, Saki has always emphasized on forgiveness and communication in marriage.
Couples Conclave has really been helpful in our marital journey.
Couples Conclave has been that community that has created a new culture, in our home.
Thank you, Couples Conclave, for helping us rediscover the love and connection that we once had when we met ourselves.
So I recommend Sake, the Couples Conclave. Talk to people that will inspire you. Don't just sit down and think you can do it alone. You need people that will continually inspire you to be better in your marriage.
Couples Conclave is a place to be.
The Couples Conclave is that 11-month accountability and rejuvenation program of the Marriage Seal Academy. In this program, we bring couples together from all over the world to join hands, learn, and be taught on the things that you need to do to make sure your marriage is always on fire. It begins every year in January all through to November of the same year. We take a break in December and start again the next January. One of the things that you get to do in the Couples Conclave is that every single day there is a tip on marriage that is shared to all the couples. Every week we have a bonding activity that helps couples to come together and bond. Every month we give one master class on one particular aspect of marriage. And once every year we have a physical retreat where we take ourselves to a resort and have a nice time for a few days. We've had retreats in Abuja, in Lagos, and we're going to have the next one in Uyo. Over the past 4 years that we have had this Couples Conclave, we've had a lot of testimonials from couples who come in as maybe fighters in some cases, and then they eventually become lovers because they've come to learn what it is that they have not known on marriage. There's so much that you can learn in marriage, and the Couples Conclave creates that community where you can come and create that culture of the right marriage, the way God ordained it to be. My name is Kunle Ologe, marriage counselor, founder of the Marriage Seal Academy, and I am the chief host of the Couples Conclave. Join us for the 2026 Couples Conclave program. Registration details are immediately after this. Please enjoy. All right. Okay. You are welcome back. And I hope you were able to take that water break. And did you listen to what those testimonials came out with? Yeah, those are members of the Couples Conclave. And we are inviting you to join the 2026 Couples Conclave. It's a beautiful place to be. It's a place where your marriage is rejuvenated. It's a place where you are able to bask in the reality of how marriage should be. It's a place where you and your spouse are able to build your marriage and do that continuously. This is very important for couples. You need that community where is that healthy community, let me put that way. A healthy community where you can be in and you can participate and also grow and have the culture of that community rub off on you. So ensure you register for the Couples Conclave. The details are there on the screen. You can also reach out to the numbers that are scrolling down, and you will get more details, as many or as much details as you need. The Couples Conclave has been on now for over 5 years, impacting couples all around the world. This year, 2025, we have over 500 couples from different countries, from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Zambia, Cameroon, from the US, from Canada, from the UK, from Japan, from Australia, from the UAE, and many more places, many more countries all over the world. And everybody is there trying to build their marriage, because remember that marriage is a journey, it's not a destination. And so you're going to continue that journey for the rest of your life. Why not continue the journey in an association, in a community? After all, you join your village communities, you join your church communities, you join your old boys communities, you join all those communities. Why don't you join a community for your marriage? Because your marriage needs to be healthy also. Why do you join your village communities? So that your culture, your tradition can remain with you, and you can You can live a healthy relationship with your kinsmen and people that are from the same place. Same thing with the couples conclave. You get into the couples conclave and you get a closer relationship with everybody in there, and you build each other. So we're inviting you to register. Registration has started, has started since June. We already have hundreds registered. How about you? You should register today and join us in the couples conclave. And the beautiful thing is that in 2026, we are coming out with an app. Yes, the app is actually at the testing stage now. We are coming out with an app that will actually host the entire Marital Academy and also host the couples conclave. Is that not wonderful? So there's so many things that are going to happen next year, and we hope that you join the rest of us who are already in. Yes, those of us who are in, we don't go out. Yes, we don't go. I can see the conclave. We don't go anywhere. We remain there. So people just come and join us, because people don't go out of the community. People just join the community, and the community continues to expand. So you are welcome to the couples conclave. Now, let's continue. So, what do you need to do? What do you need to do to ensure that competition does not override your marriage? You need to understand that if you choose partnership over competition, you will succeed. So have that mentality of partnership over competition. And how do you do this? Number one, celebrate each other's wins. Yeah, celebrate each other's wins. When your spouse has achieved something, please be the first person to celebrate. I don't know why in some marriages it's not like that. In some marriages, when you see other people celebrating your spouse, that's when you want to celebrate. No, that's not how it should be. Be the first person to celebrate your spouse when he or she has achieved something. It can be something at work. It can be a birthday. It can be an anniversary of some sort. It can be a new educational qualification. It can be anything. It even can be that your spouse has been able to cook the first good meal, maybe like the men that are not very kitchen-like. You celebrate. Even for the small things, the things that are supposed to be normal, that you are supposed to do, please celebrate them. Your spouse cooks a good meal, celebrate. Your spouse cleans, celebrate. Your spouse takes out the trash, celebrate. Your spouse does the laundry, celebrate. Acknowledge what your spouse has done. Don't allow somebody else to be the cheerleader of your spouse when you are there in the house with him or her. So every victory that your spouse achieves, please celebrate. The next thing, number two, next thing you can do is to ensure that while you are playing different roles, you are on the same team. While you are playing different roles, you are on the same team. Now, I told you earlier on in the teaching, I said that one of the 6 purposes of marriage is completion. And in completion, you move away from independence and you take on the cloak of interdependence. So it means that each person has a role to play. In a team, there are different people doing different things, and everybody is important. So if you have that, you're able to do one thing, your spouse does the other, and then together you make the whole beautiful. That is beautiful. In my own marriage, I'm the finance person. So I'm the one who spent the longest time in the bank. I spent 18 years in the bank. I'm the one who has been doing business since my university days. I've been doing business now for over 26 years. I'm the one who understands the finance world. So my wife differs to me when it comes to finance. My wife doesn't compete with me. When I bring up a suggestion on finance, except she can see something wrong with it, we move with it, because she even relies on me to make those financial suggestions. Let's look at the other way around. When it comes to issues of health, healthy living and all, I defer to my wife. Her first degree was in medical microbiology. And so she understands the science of medicine. So there's no competition. In fact, when we take our children to see a doctor, for instance, and my wife and I are there, it's my wife that interacts with the doctor. I'm just there as a chauffeur. So except she's not there, then I can. If not, she understands it better. So why am I trying to compete? Why should we be in the doctor's office? And this happens in some marriages. And the wife is talking, the husband is talking. Each person is trying to compete and saying, no, this is what is happening to the child. That is what's happening to the child. What's the competition for? These are some of the places we miss it. So yes, each person has that role to play, but you now play the roles together so that you form a formidable whole. Number 3, affirm instead of compare. Affirm instead of compare. So instead of comparing what your spouse has done with what should have been done or what somebody else could have done, why not affirm the little that he or she has done first? Affirm first before you now start saying, okay, let me correct you. Affirm first. This is very, very important. So affirm before you complain or before you compare. Affirm. This is too important. As little as it looks, it helps you so that competition doesn't sink in. So have that habit of looking out for what your spouse has done that is good, and first noticing that, acknowledging that, affirming who your spouse is before you compare. Number 4, adopt a we mentality. Adopt a we mentality instead of me and you. Adopt a we mentality. Now, when you adopt a we mentality, you find out that it's no more, nobody's competing against each other because you've accepted that the two of you are one. So it's about we. Everything is about we. It's not about I'm the one who does the better job, you're the one who does. No, everything is about we. So adopt that mentality. It will really help you in your marriage. It will go a long way, very, very long way in your marriage. So affirm the we mentality. Stop doing the I, you, separating yourselves when God has already joined you together. Remember, what God has joined together, let no man, including you, yes, that is inside the marriage, let no man put asunder. So adopt the we mentality. And finally, put yourself in a community of growth. That's number 5. Put yourself in a community of growth. Again, I talk about the couples conclave. You put yourself in a community where everybody is growing, you will grow. Have you ever seen when you put a dumb person in a class filled with smart people? Except if the smart people are arrogant or are wicked, very soon that dumb person will become smart. I remember very vividly in my secondary school. So in our second year, what we used to call GSS2, in our GSS2, there was this new boy that was brought in. Now, this new boy even had a challenge communicating in English because he came from the village and was brought in to, let's give this guy good education. And so he was brought to our school. He was brought to my class, I said, yes, in our GSS2. Now, when he came into that school, he could not speak a full sentence of English. I'm not exaggerating. Real life story. But do you know, by the time we were finishing WAEC, this guy had C's in WAEC, B's in even some cases, and he did very well in English. By the time we were finishing WAEC, this guy's command of English, if I told you that in JSS2 he could not speak correctly, you would have been surprised. In fact, you won't believe it. But truly, because he was put into a community where everybody speaks. And by the time we were in JSS2, because that was one thing the school took very seriously, maths and English. So by the time we were in JSS2, everybody was good with English and maths. And so this guy was dropped into that pool, and the culture enveloped him and he became good. That's the same thing that happens in a community of growth like the couples conclave. You get into the couples conclave, and if you allow it, because there are some people who are inside the community but refuse for the community to affect them. So if you enter the couples conclave and if you allow it, the couples conclave will influence your marriage positively for life. Hence, those testimonials you heard when we took that water break, and you're going to hear them again. I need you to patiently listen to them. The full testimonials are on our YouTube channel, this same YouTube channel. So you can go there and watch the full testimonials of these people. They are just a few, and there are many testimonials out there. They're just a few of the people who came into the couples conclave. And you can see how they were telling their stories heartily. I mean, there's no pretense. You come into a place where you see that you're doing the wrong thing, you just begin to change. And as you change, you see even your spouse changing, and together, both of you can build something beautiful. I mean, very beautiful and very enviable. So I invite you to join us in the couples conclave. The details are scrolling down there on the screen. Join us in the couples conclave and improve your marriage and ensure that competition is taken away from your marriage. So competing with your spouse is like cutting a tree and its roots. So you don't only cut it. You know, when you cut a tree, like the Bible says, there's hope for a tree that even if it be cut down, it will sprout up again, right? But when you remove the roots, what will happen to that tree? That tree is dead. Completely dead. So don't remove the roots that your spouse has in your relationship, because you will kill your spouse emotionally. Ensure that you celebrate each other instead of compete against each other. There's too much to celebrate. There's too much to thank God for and be happy for in your marriage. Now, I hope that you got something, and I really am so excited that you are able to join us here today. Please make sure you still send this link to everybody that you know. Even those 10 people you sent to, send them again the link and tell them they can catch the replay of this with the same link. If your spouse was not here, listening to me, please send it to your spouse. Let your spouse also listen, and let your spouse begin to also grow like you're growing. It's been a wonderful time. My name is Kunle Ologe, married counselor, founder of the Marital Academy, and I'm leaving you with these testimonials that I hope that you watch and will influence your life. See you again next Friday. Please enjoy.
This is my wife, and we are members of the couples conclave.
My name is Joanne Phillips. I am a conclavite.
My name is Wuraola Obaka, and I am a conclavite.
I am Dide Pascal Awadike, and with me is my wife.
Isn't it, Agbadike?
I joined, and it has been the best decision of our lives.
I just decided that what it cost me to just go get more knowledge on how to have a better home and a better marriage.
Now, my experience at the conclave has put in me a consciousness to continuously work on my marriage.
Joining the conclave, Saki has always emphasized on forgiveness and communication in marriage.
Couples conclave has really been helpful in our marital journey.
The couples conclave has been that community that has created a new culture, in our home.
Thank you, Couples Conclave, for helping us rediscover the love and connection that we once had when we met ourselves.
So I recommend Sake, the couples conclave. Talk to people that will inspire you. Don't just sit down and think you can do it alone. You need people that will continually inspire you to be better in your marriage.
Couples Conclave is a place to be.
The Couples Conclave is that 11-month accountability and rejuvenation program of the Marital Academy. In this program, we bring couples together from all over the world to join hands, learn, and be taught on the things that you need to do to make sure your marriage is always on fire. It begins every year in January all through to November of the same year. We take a break in December and start again the next January. One of the things that you get to do in the couples conclave is that every single day there is a tip on marriage that is shared to all the couples. Every week we have a bonding activity that helps couples to come together and bond. Every month we give one master class on one particular aspect of marriage. And once every year we have a physical retreat where we take ourselves to a resort and have a nice time for a few days. We've had retreats in Abuja, in Lagos, and we're going to have the next one in Uyo. Over the past 4 years that we have had this couples conclave, we've had a lot of testimonials from couples who come in as maybe fighters in some cases, and then they eventually become lovers because they've come to learn what it is that they have not known on marriage. There's so much that you can learn in marriage, and the couples conclave creates that community where you can come and create that culture of the right marriage, the way God ordained it to be. My name is Kunle Ologe, marriage counselor, founder of the Marital Academy, and I am the chief host of the Couples Conclave. Join us for the 2026 Couples Conclave program. Registration details are immediately after this. Please enjoy.